Here in Miami this week, along Calle Ocho, which has been for decades the center of Cuban culture in Miami. Now you can find a Cuban sandwich pretty much anywhere in the city. Very few like the ones here at Sanguich, which was started by a former Chicagoan who moved down to Miami when he was 7, and has completely transformed what people think about the Cuban sandwich. Some of the best Cuban sandwiches in Miami are being produced in a tiny strip mall between a jewelry store and a healthcare center, the creations of a Chicago-born engineer.
Family lived in the Evanston, Rogers Park area, and then we moved over to Skokie, a small little suburb. I grew up in a Cuban household, right? And so the majority of it was rice and beans. The Cuban sandwiches really was injected when we moved down to Miami. I was about 7 years old. We elevate all the ingredients, we make everything in-house, and we add a different twist to it, right? But a Cuban sandwich is very simple. It's ham, it's lechon, it's mustard, pickles, cheese on good Cuban bread.
Marinating and roasting pork is crucial, but Figueredo doesn't take the usual approach.
We don't use naranja agria or sour oranges. We use other ingredients to elevate the natural flavors of the pork.
But at Sanguich, it's the ham that has the more involved process.
One, you have the brine, and then the brine gets injected into the pork butt, and then it gets refrigerated, and it goes into a soaking or a curing process for about 7 days. From that, then it goes to the cooking, it goes to the slicing, it goes to the portioning. So ham really is the trickiest.
Pickles are made in-house, but the cheese is sourced locally.
We use a German Swiss, so it's about 40% cream, so it's a real beautiful melt factor. It's got a real nice sharp flavor.
Another option, the pan con lechon, a pork sandwich that really kick-started the business.
The pan con lechon is just shredded. It's exactly what we put in the Cuban, except they're cooked at different temperatures, and that's something we spoon in. Shredded, we add our mojo onions, we add our cilantro aioli on Cuban bread, and we toast it.
Another unique touch, all of the sandwiches are brushed with lard that's rendered in-house versus the more common butter. Talk about a flavor boost. The Sanguich de Miami contains turkey and bacon plus lettuce and tomato. But Figueredo prefers a Medianoche, which has a smaller portion of protein and is served on a slightly sweeter bread. His method of eating one, by dipping it into a café con leche, is worth imitating.
My go-to is always a Medianoche with a café con leche. That's just my go-to.
And if you're going to come for lunch, get here early because as you can see, there's a line already outside the front door before noon. Hope you enjoyed today's video, everybody. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.